Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz. You're watching us live on Pakistan TV from our Islamabad studios. Now, cricket is a buzz because the ICC Women's World Cup has started in spectacular fashion. In the opening encounter, host India managed to beat co-host Sri Lanka in a game that many believed Sri Lanka could win. But I think poor fielding really let them down. When you've got a side 5 down on 120 or 130 runs, then it is absolutely preposterous to make them go almost near 300. So we'll talk about that, but Sri Lanka's batting lineup has relied mostly on Chamari Attapattu, their skipper, and once her wicket fell, Sri Lanka didn't have anything in the game. But of course, there's another game underway. Australia are facing New Zealand, another cracker of a game, but even being after 5 wickets down, Australia have managed to prove themselves to be the champions that they are, defending their crown. So we're going to be talking about the Women's World Cup in detail and give you all that you need to know. Then we move on to the Pakistan Cricket Board, where another chapter now seems to have become a highlight, and that is where NOCs for various cricket leagues have been put on hold. Now, what are the reasons? Only time will tell, but a lot of people are saying because the schedule of the Qaid-e-Azam Trophy, Pakistan's premier domestic cricket tournament, has been revealed, so maybe they want players to focus on domestic cricket and 4-day cricket, which starts as well. The calendar has been announced. The final takes place on the 29th of November and continues till 3rd of December. So we'll be talking all about that and some of the reasons why these NOCs have been put on hold. Then we move on and we discuss some more particular things with you on Sports Extra. We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to cricket and cricket making headlines all around the world as well. Then of course we talk about Pakistan's performance, the ACC saga which continues with the trophy, and of course Mohsin Naqvi has been very vocal of that fact as well. We'll give you all the details that you need to know in that regard as well. Then we move on to motorsports and we talk about Marquez, who becomes the champion once again in MotoGP. His journey has been one that is so inspirational. He's garnered a lot of appreciation and a lot of congratulatory messages from former MotoGP champions as well, including the likes of some who have been his competitors as well. So we're going to be talking about that in detail and we're going to give you all that you need to know. Then we talk about something very, very interesting on Sports Extra. We talk about Vantage games that have started. So we're going to be giving you all the details that you need to know regarding grassroots level sports, and I think this is a fantastic platform for people who don't often get the opportunity to perform in these games as well. And it's the details are there, which ensures nationwide coverage of Vantage games that has already included students from within the entire ecosystem of public sector educational boards of the country, making the platform truly youth inclusive as well. So we talk about Vantage games, and then a major retirement has come from the world of cricket as Chris Woakes announces his retirement from international cricket right on the eve of Ashes. So I mean, people would have liked him to continue, but a stellar career comes to an end for Chris Woakes, a fantastic servant for English cricket with the ball and with the bat as well at times. So we'll be talking a bit about that in detail as well. Discussing all of this and much more, time now to introduce our guest. Joining us in studios first of all is the international cricket commentator, broadcaster, presenter, our sports expert, K.Asif Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, how are you, sir?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm very well. How about yourself?
I'm very well. And also joining us is sports expert Malik Usman. Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm doing well, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. Now, before we begin, I've got a very interesting tweet to share with you. Take a look at what we're going to be talking about at the start of the show. Chairman Pakistan Cricket Board and President of the ACC, Mohsin Naqvi, has tweeted, "Indian media thrives on lies, not facts. Let me make it absolutely clear. I have done nothing wrong and I have never apologized to the BCCI, nor will I ever do so. This fabricated nonsense is nothing but cheap propaganda aimed only at misleading their own people. Unfortunately, India continues to drag politics into cricket, damaging the very spirit of the game. As the president, I was ready to hand over the trophy the very day. I am still ready. If they truly want it, they are welcome to come to ACC office and collect it from me." Now, the context is that this tweet has come in response to baseless propaganda by India Today, who had tweeted that and made false allegations that Mohsin Naqvi had apologized to BCCI. So, I mean, look at the desperation India is in right now. K.Asif Ahmad, your thoughts?
Well, this is what was going on in the social media and especially in Indian media Even their mainstream media was talking about that Mohsin Naqvi has apologized. And the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board and the president of Asian Cricket Council. But this tweet reflects that it wasn't like that. And Mohsin Naqvi said very clearly that you guys are talking about that to take the trophy, and you guys denied, and you guys refused to take the trophy from the president of Asian Cricket Council, then this is the matter of Asian Cricket Council.
Asif, this looks like to be major embarrassment on the global scale. Let me be very honest and very pertinent at this stage what I've seen. They made a publicity stunt that probably has now bitten them in the back. Reason being, it all started with Ravi Shastri, who came up and bashed India for their handling of this entire crisis. Then we move on and we saw a lot of voices from India started coming in favor of the ACC and Mohsin Naqvi. A lot of voices criticized BCCI. A lot of voices even then criticized Modi for being a clown and almost a person who believes in mockery of their team as well, and that's what he's done. So this looks like to be the last resort, that now they have to use false propaganda on media to have some sort of face saving, and I think it's nothing new from India. I think that we've been exposing this throughout the year.
Actually, Modi reminds me the Bal Thackeray, the leader of RSS, and you do remember that when Pakistan visited India for the bilateral test series, what happened there, what they had done with the cricket. So you rightly said that what actually Modi pretends himself that he is the leader of the region, but it's not like that. After the humiliation defeat of what the Pakistan Army, what Pakistan Army has done on the 9th May, I think now they are just doing these covert acts in the stadium of cricket as well, in the game of cricket as well. So what Mohsin Naqvi actually has done, I'm so happy, has taken a stance, and now he is coming up with the same stance.
Absolutely, and I would rather see a principled stance as well. Usman will take your take on this. India Today earlier released false information, nothing new from any outlet of India, where they claimed that Mohsin Naqvi had apologized. Mohsin Naqvi, of course, gave a tweet which clarified his position, and he made it clear that he has never apologized, nor he will do. And he's already made it clear. I remember the ACC that took place yesterday, where another puppet in BCCI, who's another character, Rajiv Shukla, also in the meeting demanded the trophy, and Mohsin Naqvi said that if you need the trophy, the captain can come to ACC Secretariat and take it from me. It's as simple as that.
It just seems that India keeps on making a fool out of themselves. I just don't understand what they are doing to their public. It's not about Pakistan or Mr. Mohsin Naqvi. We all know what we are doing, what our chairman is doing, what Pakistan cricket team is doing. You can play well on the field, you can play poor on the field. That is sports. You win sometimes, you lose sometimes. But there is something called character, which I think the Indian team, the BCCI, the Indian government is not showing whatsoever. This was supposed to be your moment. You won the final, you won the Asia Cup, you were supposed to take the trophy, and it was all about you, but you made a mess of yourself, and stating that you're not going to take a trophy from the ACC chairman. That is not going to happen. That has never happened. Why do you want to set some precedents which are going to haunt you in the future? See, I have an opinion that these things will subsidize one day or the other in the future, surely. But what Indian cricket or Indian government or BCCI is doing, it will haunt them for a long, long, long time. This is going to haunt them, surely. And this is a precedent or standards that they are setting for themselves that is not only humiliating themselves, it is humiliating cricket as a sport. You don't see these kind of nonsense in any other sport. There are sporting governing bodies which will come very, very hard on countries who don't obey the rules and regulations. What India is doing, it amounts to penalty, it amounts to bans, it amounts to serious repercussions. But just because they are BCCI, the Indian cricket team, we all expect nothing is going to happen. That shows the impunity that they have, an important structure of this ICC which has the chairman who is also an Indian, and they are indirectly humiliating their own Indian who is the ICC chairman. So what they are actually teaching the cricket world is that they can do anything what they want. All the others are mere puppets. That is what they think. But Pakistan in this regard, Mr. Mohsin Naqvi has taken a very, very firm stand, and India, they are into a territory where they have never ever been. Nobody has said no to them, but they are up against a man who is a Pakistani and ACC chairman and who is also be PCB chairman. He has taken a stand not once but twice or thrice now, and India needs to shut up now, and they have to follow the rules and regulations which are being followed by the other teams as well.
I mean, you know, for far too long this mockery has continued, and it's, you know, it's gone unabated. But I think now it's the fact is that I rarely expect anything from ICC, which often people say stand for Indian Cricket Council, and with you know, Jay Shah at the helm of affairs, who's the son of Amit Shah, who's the home minister in the BJP cabinet, what can you expect from there? I think nothing at all. But this mockery will continue, and I think Usman has really put the hashtag forward that they're only making a fool out of their own selves. Is nothing more than that. But then again, we got to focus on cricket. That's what we always do. The ICC Women's World Cup has started in spectacular fashion. In the opening encounter, we saw India beating co-host Sri Lanka. Let's take a look at this report.
The ICC Women's World Cup 2025 has officially begun, with India securing a victory over Sri Lanka in the opening match. Hosted jointly by India and Sri Lanka, the tournament features 8 nations: Australia, Bangladesh, England, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa, and Sri Lanka. The competition follows a round-robin format from September 30th to October 26th, where each team competes against all others to secure a spot in the top 4 and advance to the semifinals scheduled for October 29th and 30th. The final will take place on November 2nd. Colombo will host Pakistan's 7 group games, including key matches against India and England. The city will also stage one of the semifinals and the final, depending on Pakistan's progression to the later stages. Australia enters as the reigning champions and record 7-time winners, aiming to defend their title won in 2022. Pakistan's women's team is set to begin their campaign against Bangladesh tomorrow, adding to the tournament's growing excitement.
Well, there you have it, all the details that you need to know, and especially I think Pakistan campaign is going to be very, very particular. Taking the fact that the team has a fantastic skipper, Fatma Sana has led the side brilliantly, and they've got some talent. But surprisingly, with men's cricket and women's cricket, it's always been about the bowling for Pakistan. But we're going to come to that in a bit. But particularly, Usman, the game last night between India and Sri Lanka, I'd like you to analyze that, and then of course the game that is underway between Australia and New Zealand.
See, one thing is that I think all the fans of women's cricket actually want an underdog to go through to the semi-finals and if possible to the final. One of the reasons is you always have these 3-4 teams that are performing overwhelmingly, and the other teams are just underperforming and they are just not up there with the best teams in the world. And yesterday we saw one example of that. Sri Lanka, they had India under their thumb at 124 for 6. They were favorites to win this game and they had India under the cosh. But what happened later on, it was the same old story that India did had a big tail and they just continued and they went up to 270 odd runs. And from there on, it was always going to be one-sided, and it was only the wicket of their skipper, Atapattu, the Sri Lankan captain, that needs to be taken, and it was always going to be a one-way affair, and that is what has happened. But I think in this World Cup, with this Asian conditions, and as Atapattu herself stated that I want to see an Asian team lifting this trophy, certainly I hope it's not India, but I hope that Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and even Bangladesh, they can build this tournament with a surprise or two. And I think that would actually spice up this tournament, and it will bring much more audience into this tournament. That is what is happening, that India, Australia, apart from them, England is pretty okay. South Africa, New Zealand, the other 3 teams are mere underdogs, and they are there to fill up numbers. That should never be the case. And I think Pakistan, for once, are going to create a couple of upsets. And if yesterday's game was anything to go by, you can have stronger teams under the cosh, and it is only how you end the game is what will decide that how these underdogs are going to go forward.
Well, certainly. But I think the fact will remain the same, that there's been a lot of dominance from certain teams in women's cricket. But with the growing interest, even in the first encounter, more than 25,000 people were in attendance. And then, of course, with the prize money being increased as well by the ICC, I think a lot more focus is going into women's cricket. K.Asif Ahmad, your thoughts on last night's game and the game that is underway? Australia still managed to cruise even after losing a couple of wickets.
Well, I'm a cricket commentator, and let's forget what BCCI and Modi has done in the men's cricket. Let's talk about the women cricket, and India played really well. You know, whenever we talk about ODI cricket, it depends that how your batters are making good partnership. So learn the art, the way Indian batters have done. Their Samirthi Mandana, the way she scored century, then the core, the skipper, she came up and she played a very, very good cameo with the strike rate of above than 100. What does it mean? That they had a plan that will try to make 320, 330, and they went more than that. So it was a very good effort. As Usman Bhai was discussing about, you know, the Sri Lankan side, because this is their home ground, and they didn't take the advantage. The only reason, because they didn't make good partnerships. And when you were chasing 342, Ahmad, you require a couple of good 50s, quick 50s, and then 100. A big 100, like 120, 130. So that part was missing, because Sneha Rana bowled really nicely. She took 4 wickets, and then their bowlers, they were really disciplined with their ball. And Sri Lanka, they missed the chance when they dropped the catches. So I think India started very well. And when we talk about the Pakistani women team, they have, you know, right before the World Cup, they played a series. And you rightly mentioned, then as the Pakistani men's team, the bowlers were struggling. Same in the women's team, we have seen that, because Sidra Amin was in a good touch, scored a couple of centuries, and Fatma Sana.
Well, because you've mentioned the men's cricket now, I am tempted to ask you this now. The PCB, we discussed this yesterday as well, has put all NOCs on hold. Now, particularly this coincides with the schedule of the K.Asif Trophy that has come out. And, you know, before we say anything, I'd just like to request the PCB that if you want to really give importance to K.Asif Trophy, the entire season should be broadcast, and commentary, presentation, everything included. That is the only way people will start prioritizing domestic cricket, especially K.Asif Trophy. But that being said, Asif, what seems to be the focus if NOCs are revoked and players are going to now be pushed into participating in domestic cricket? I mean, I must ask myself this question. Is Haris Rauf really going to bowl 15 overs in domestic cricket?
I think he will not play. He will not participate. This is my personal opinion. I could be wrong. But what could I see that Haris Rauf is just focusing on 4 overs game, I mean T20s, that's it, or ODI. Now coming back to the point that I appreciated this decision last night, you know, and I strongly agree that what Pakistan Cricket Board has done. Why? You know, the nationalism is most important in any game, and especially when we talk about cricket, this is the second religion, we consider it second religion, you know, in this region. The people love cricket, and they are demoralized right after losing against India in the final of Asia Cup. And of course, that everybody knows that who was the major reason, or I say major culprit. That was Haris Rauf, conceded 50 runs, and in the last over where he has to save you know, 10, 15 runs, but he was not able to bowl a good over. So you were talking about Haris Rauf, I'm talking about some other players like Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Fahim Ashraf, and Kamran Ghulam, Shan Masood. Everybody should participate in K.Asif Trophy. K.Asif Trophy will be starting from 6th of October. Pakistan Cricket Board has already announced the schedule, and the matches will be played at Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, Abbottabad, Peshawar, and Islamabad. So I agree, Ahmed, when you will broadcast all the matches over the TV, so let the people watch what our domestic cricketers are doing, how they are performing. So one thing is quite sure. When you are there to earn money, you will go and play the franchise cricket, you will play the T20 cricket, the shortest format, you earn the money, but you are not earning respect, you're not earning dignity for your country, which is missing for a long time in cricket. So I appreciate this decision from Pakistan Cricket Board.
Usman, what are your thoughts, first of all, on NOCs being put on hold, and what seems to be the conclusion?
I think it's a ridiculous decision. I have complete disagreement with what the PCB has done, and I don't see much logic in this. If I had seen any logic, I could have supported them, but I just don't see anything. By putting on hold the NOCs, what are you trying to prove? We all know that once the BBL starts, the Big Bash, Pakistani players will go to the Big Bash. We all know that. You cannot have another fight with the Australian Cricket Board once you are already in a tussle with BCCI. And once you do these kind of things that you're going to hold on to these NOCs, you are actually giving no respect to these kind of NOCs or the other leagues where your players are going to be contracted or they are going to be marketed. So there is a trust deficit where your players don't get an opportunity to play other leagues. I don't agree with this fact that if you don't play Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, you cannot develop your T20 game. And with all the things that I have, my mindset regarding Haris Rauf, I think if he doesn't want to play Test cricket, if he doesn't want to play even one day, and if he doesn't want to play Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, it is absolutely fine with me. If you say that if you don't play red ball cricket, you are not going to nurture your T20 game, I'm not a fan of this statement. I can give you an example and I can give you my reasons. That is Afghanistani players. How many of those play Test cricket? How many of those play one-day cricket? How many of those play domestic cricket? They don't play high-quality domestic cricket. How many Test matches has Rashid played before he became a superstar in T20? What about Noor Ahmad? What about Mujib? What about Muhammad Nabi? And I can name so many, and that too only from one team. So that this reason that if you don't play red ball cricket, you cannot develop in T20 cricket is ridiculous. One reason why you lost the Asia Cup final was you had a very, very poor team. And that has nothing to do with Quaid-e-Azam Trophy. You were lucky to win against Sri Lanka. You were not favorites in that game. You were even lucky to win against Bangladesh. So you actually overperformed once you entered into the final. So you have to give some credit to these players. And even against India, when majority of these Pakistanis thought that it was a one-sided game, Pakistanis actually put up a fight. And when you talk about Haris Rauf, we all know that he has this issue under pressure. He cannot bowl under pressure. One of the reasons is he doesn't know how to bowl defensive bowling. He always attacks once in defending. When you're defending a total, you need to actually stop the scoring rather than picking up wickets in the end. So run scoring is more important. To stop the run scoring is more important than picking up wickets. That is where Pakistan struggles.
I want to discuss this further, and I really believe that, sanity should prevail at the end. But let's just go towards a short break. When we come back, we're going to discuss the stellar career of Chris Woakes that has come to an end. Right, welcome back to Sports Extra. Now we move on to a stellar career of English cricketer Chris Woakes that has come to an end. He announced his retirement from international cricket. Let's take a look at this report.
England all-rounder Chris Woakes has brought the curtain down on his international career, announcing retirement at 36 after 15 years of service to England cricket. Woakes, who debuted in 2011 during the Limited Overs Tour of Australia and later made his Test debut in the 2013 Ashes, went on to represent England in 62 Tests, 122 ODIs and 33 T20Is. Known for his accuracy with the ball and valuable lower-order batting, he claimed 192 Test wickets with a best of 6 for 17 at Lord's, scored a Test 100 along with 750s, and took 173 ODI wickets with a debut series best of 6 for 45 against Australia. He also picked up 31 T20I wickets and was a central figure in England's white ball transformation, playing pivotal roles in the 2019 ODI World Cup and 2022 T20 World Cup triumphs. His final international appearances came in the 2023 World Cup and later that year in T20Is against West Indies. In his farewell note, Woakes expressed pride in wearing the 3 lions, thanked his family, coaches, teammates, and fans, and highlighted memories of lifting 2 World Cups and competing in memorable Ashes contests.
Oh, he's nicked that, he's gone, as I speak. No, I don't think so, maybe 2 strikes. Yeah, England have caught well in that innings, really well. Went quickly to duck it. Broad led him off yesterday.
His last Test against India at the Oval saw him bat courageously with one arm in a sling after dislocating his shoulder, underlining his grit and team-first mentality. While England's management confirmed he was no longer in long-term plans, Woakes will continue to play county cricket for Warwickshire and pursue franchise league opportunities, leaving behind a legacy as one of England's most dependable modern-day bowling all-rounders.
Well, there you have it. The stellar career of Chris Woakes comes to an end. What a fantastic servant of English cricket, be it Test or the white ball format. He's just been brilliant. K.Asif, what are your thoughts?
Well, superb all-rounder, and he has represented his country for all the formats, T20, ODI, and the Test. Played 61 Test games, more than 122 ODIs games. So brilliant and stellar career he has. And one last thing which I do remember about him, the last game against India when he was injured and he came to play with single hand, and everybody was talking about over the social media, this is about cricket. This is, you call it, the passion and enthusiasm. So what a player he was. We do remember his spectacular performances for England, especially against Australia in Asias, and some other performances as well. So good luck for his future, and right decision that he has taken. And he has been informed by the English Cricket Board that you're no more in our plans, so take decision. He has taken a decision.
But K.Asif, he didn't ask for a farewell match. I just want your take on this.
See, this is what the big cricket boards, or good cricket boards, they're dealing with their players. They're just informing them. What happens in Pakistan, actually, Pakistan Cricket Board does not inform to the player that either you are in our plans or not. Where is Abid Ali? Where is Bilal Asif? Where are some other players? Don't know that they have started their career, played a couple of games, but after that, nobody knows that where they are. So this is the problem with the Pakistan Cricket Board. I hope that Mohsin Naqvi will work on it.
Well, certainly. I think the fact still remains that this has just been a glorious day for Test cricket. If you talk about Chris Woakes' career, be it the white ball format or be it the fact that the way he's represented England successfully in Test cricket. And you got to, really applaud the fact that for you to make a name for yourself when you've got the stalwarts Stuart Broad and Anderson and still be recognized as a fast bowler is in itself a big achievement as well. But thank you very much, K.Asif and Malik Usman, for joining us. Now, before we go, I've got something very, very special to share with you, and that is a historic viewership performance of the Asia Cup final that was telecast on PTV Sports. When we talk about the match, recorded unprecedented ratings and has broken all past benchmarks in Pakistan television's history. Previously, the highest rating was achieved by a certain platform with 32%, but now the Asia Cup final on PTV Sports managed to record 42%, which highlights a new achievement for our sister platform, PTV Sports. Throughout the match, viewers remained to their screens, demonstrating a strong audience that PTV Sports enjoys as well. And when you talk about the total viewership, it's just been historic numbers. So we would like to congratulate all members of PTV Sports, especially the Pakistan television family at this stage as well. Congratulations from Pakistan TV. And I think all of you who are the viewers of PTV Sports and Pakistan TV also are part of this historic milestone as well. So congratulations to all of you. That being said, that wraps up the program from me and my entire team of Sports Extra. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.